there, everybody. My name is Kim Gilhespy, and I'm a physical education teacher in Cambridge, Ontario. I'm so excited to be here with you today as we work together to learn a new TGFU Invasion Territory game that was first introduced to me by CIRA Ontario. The name of the game is Kunken. The theme of this activity is physical education, and the activity itself is geared towards students in grades 7 through 12, although I've played it with junior students too, and we've all had a great time. As a moderate amount of space is required, this activity can be played on any open field outside or hard surface area or inside in a gymnasium. Drawing a rectangular space of approximately 20 meters by 5 meters helps, but is not required. A minimum of 2 people can play this game, but the more people that play, the more fun it is. So let's get ready to learn Kunken. This is how you set up your court for Kunken. The offense plays the defense. The offensive team sets themselves up between 2 pylons that creates a back safe line. The defense sets himself up on the other side of the court. A pin, pylon, or other object is placed about 1 meter in front of the defense. The goal of the offense is to enter the playing area, steal the pin, and return back across their safe line without being tagged. The pin must be carried. It cannot be thrown or handed off to another player. If the player, however, becomes tagged, then they're eliminated from that end. They go and become a line judge for the rest of their team. One final rule is a stall rule. When it comes down to having 1 offensive player left, they must continually advance forward and go after the pin. The goal of the defense is to tag one of the offensive players before they retreat back across their safe line. If they do this, they remain in the game. If, however, the offense reaches the line before the defensive player, then the defensive player is eliminated and watches from the back line and becomes a line judge. Only 1 defensive player can tag any 1 offensive player. Therefore, whoever tags first is the one who stays in the game. The game continues until all the pins are stolen or until the defense eliminates the offense. The offensive team is entering from the right side of the screen into the playing area. Remember that their main goal is to steal the pin, which is the yellow pylon in this case, and return back with it over that back safe line. The defense are doing their best to try to tag the offensive team so that they cannot achieve their goal. The offensive team, as they enter here, you can see them sidestepping. There's been some running, but right now they seem to be sneaking up on the defense. 1 offensive player was tagged and is eliminated. 1 defensive player did not get a tag and is therefore eliminated. So it's now a 1-on-1 game. And the defense tagged the offensive player, they would get that point. Looking at play from the defensive end now, you can see that the defensive players need to be behind that back line. And again, their goal is to try to tag an offensive player before they return with the pin. Different strategies come into play, as you can see here. Some sidestepping, some joking, some gesturing too. 1 defensive player to 2 offensive players. The defense tags 1 offensive player and is back in the game. And here's the sneaky offensive second player that came in quickly before the defense could set up. So because I said this is a TGFU, or Teaching Games for Understanding game, Kunkin can be played on a longer court or a shorter court. And what that does is change up some different strategies that you use. You can also change different objects. So you can use pylons, and you can actually use more than one. it changes up the game. So you can play a variation, for example, called Risk Taker, in which the first time, maybe they come and try to get one pin, they take it back, and if successful, they come back and now try to get a second or third. And in this game, this would be with 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points. And there's so many other variations you can play as well. This game also teaches a variety of skills that you would use in other activities and sports. For example, when you're coming down to get the pin, you're sidestepping, as you would be if you were taking the lead off or stealing a base in baseball or soccer. As a defensive player in the game of Kunken, you also learn and use different skills that will help you not only in the game, but also in other games such as track and field. For example, you can use a 2-point stance before you take off and blast to get an offensive player. As you're playing the game of Kunken, you'll quickly understand that it's important to have a strategy, and this TGFU game builds on that understanding. For example, as a defensive player, it's important to try to think out the offense a little bit, maybe have a plan and talk with your other teammates. As an offensive player, your strategy may be to be more aggressive, perhaps create a little bit of chaos, lure out the defense, play a little cat and mouse with them. In this variation of Kunken, we use 3 pins of differing point values. The pin that is easiest for the offense to get is worth 1 point, the one in the middle worth 2, and the most challenging one, in this case the yellow pylon, is worth 3 points. The offensive player just tagged the defensive player and therefore returns the pin back to its position. It's right now 1 player on the offense versus 1 player on the defense. Kunken can be played with just 2 players, but it can also be played as small-sided teams or even with larger teams on each side. The offensive player took the pin and therefore gets the remaining points earned for their team. Once players reset the game, the offense and the defense switch sides. The defense becomes the offense, and the offense becomes the defense. As you can see, anybody who is eliminated is not eliminated very long. It's very quick to get back into the game of Kunken. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun. For more activities, check out the PHE Learning Centre at www.phecanada.ca and the Canadian Olympic School Program at www.olympic.ca. Bye!